on, friends? Just a little chanting before class. Yeah, some 5 minutes or so. Excuse me. Okay. This is a set of sutras that were gleaned from the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, all the 4 books, in order that was kind of a download, kind of an interpretation of all the things, going from the seated position to self-knowledge. Om Stira Sukham Asanam. Om Prayatna Shaitayananta Samapatibhyam. Om Yogashchitta Vritti Nirodha. Om Abhyasa Vairagyabhyam Tannirodha. Om Tasmin Sati Shvasa Prashvasa Yogati Vichedaha Pranayamaha. Om Prachardana Virharadambyam Va Pranasya. Om Bhayam Yantara Stamba Vrittir Desha Kala Samkhyabhi Parigrishto Dirga Sukshmaha. Om Vitarka Badhane Pratipaksha Bhavanam. Om Maitri Karuna Mudito Pikshanam Sukha Dukha Punya Punya Vishayanam Bhavanatashchita Prasadhanam. Om Sva Vishayava Sampragyogi Chittasya Svarupanukara Yedendriyanam Pratyaharaha. Om Tata Parama Vashatindriyanam. Om Tat Pratishedartam Ekatattvabhyasaha. Om Desha Bandhash Chittasya Dharana. Om Desha Bandhash Chittasya Dharana. Om Vishaya Bhativa Pravrittir Utmana Manasashtiti Nibandhani. Om Tatra Pratyakatanatha Dhyanam. Om Vishokabhat Jyotishmati. Om Vitaraga Vishayamba Chittam. Om Swapna Nidra Dhyananjalam Madamba. Om Drishta Nusvadika Vishaya Trishnasya Vasikara Samjnana Vairagyam. Om Kshana Vrittir Apijata Seva Manir Grahitri Grahana Grayeshu Tastadhan Anjanata Samapatihi. Om Tad Evarta Matra Nirvasam Swarupa Shunyam Iva Samadhi. Om Tasha Vakchaka Pranavaha. Om Takshtapas Tad Artha Bhavanam. Om Ritambara Tatra Prajna. To self knowledge and all the wisdom of the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, bringing us from the seated position to our sadhana practice through the thought waves of the mind to sense withdrawal to one pointed mind to the various stages of samadhi and all the other goodness. Mm-hmm. All right. I think it's about time for giant chat, friends. So pull up a seat. All right. Okay, Sam and Maggie and Sarah and Chieko and Gretchen. Yay. Stephanie, Tammy, Bill. Nice for making it this morning, Bill, and everyone, of course. And it's just the Saturday morning sadhana crew. And pranams. I'm going to take a little sip of chai here before I get started. Get a little good dose in there. All right. So this morning's topic was perception of time and space. And I included the Sanskrit words of Kshana, and Anu. Kshana and Anu. And they're in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. This is a copy of Babaji's book. This is the book number 4 on Kaivalya, on self-actualization. And Kshana is defined as or translated as the smallest measurement of time. The smallest measurement of time. Or in the, thing in the book is the moment. It's described as the moment. And then Anu, ANU, is described as the smallest measurement of existence, or the atom. And I find these, Sanskrit and yoga is so powerful because there's one word and it kind of just takes your mind into this region of abstract nature of the sublime, if you will. And why these words are kind of understood is, there was this recognition that the yogi was able to perceive the event horizon, the border between time and space, and say consciousness or energy. And so we've talked about in the past a little bit, and this term may be new, it's likely new for most, Satkaryavad. The cause is inherent in the effect. So the seed, right, creates the tree. And that implies that there's a succession of evolution. And then it also implies another really important term is called dharmi, and that means the substratum. So if we begin to kind of put that all together, there's an implication that within the construct of time and space is the cause of time and space. In the construct of time and space is the implication that there is a cause. And that's where this, unfolding of yoga, its understanding of the origins of time, the origins of the universe, begin to get unpacked and understood. I thought about this, of course, a lot. And one of the things that's come up is this description is kind of the frontier between the apparent and the sublime, or the apparent and the fabric that holds conscious awareness. It's almost like consciousness is being described in the quantum world. And I'm not going to go down that road too much. But in the quantum world, we've seen that our otherwise rules of time and space have been reconfigured, would be the best way to put it, or re-understood, right? And so, in the idea of Kshana and Anu, is that at the very smallest measurement of time and the very smallest measurement existence is the frontier between the physical and the abstract, the apparent and the subtle, the physical and the layer of the conscious fabric. What we'll practice today is our asanas, our physical postures, will be a vehicle for the transportation of awareness. The asanas will be a vehicle for the transportation of awareness. And our pranayama practice will be a tool for the awakening of perception. When we practice an asana, invariably, there's an invitation to engage a muscle or to place a foot or hand here, do something there, right? And that action and its recognition is the apparent, but the awareness of it is the sublime, is the abstract, is the subtle, is the perception. The pranayama practice, once we invoke, say, some form of a magnitude of prana where it can be actually felt and experienced, allows for the perception to move past the causative elements of time and space. So you're at the frontier of Kshana and Anu. You're at the very border um, of the event horizon between the temporal existence and um, and consciousness. So that's what we'll work with a little bit today. And again, thanks for joining, friends. As always, very grateful here in the home studio. And for now, this will be a landing spot. The Mahasol Yoga studio that I've been broadcasting out of, unfortunately, they're closing their doors. They're going out of business. It's been, a thing, obviously, in the yoga world, and so just thought I'd make that announcement, and it's fine. You know, just did a little backflip and land on my feet, and so we're here in the home studio. So all is well, friends, and that's our message for Chai and Chat today. I'm going to take a seat here in my asana, and we'll see what we can explore in our asana practice as a vehicle for the transportation of awareness. All right, so get comfortable in your seated position. And first become aware of the sense of being grounded in the form. And so bring the capacity of your observation to the sensations that you have on the tops of the feet, the lower legs, and the sits bones. And feel those sensations of contact. And then just gently relax into them and allow the body to merge into the earth. The elbows can gently float under the shoulders, the collarbones, the chest broad. A little bit of an action to contract the back muscles to lengthen the spine. The chin is parallel to the floor. The eyes have closed if they haven't already. And the breath, the sacred breath, is in the belly. So the belly extends as you inhale into the spine as you exhale. And take a moment and traverse from the sense of groundedness to the sense of length of the spine, the various sensations. And then begin to notice yourself noticing. Begin to allow your awareness to pivot to the observation, to the witness experience of the temporal world. Much illumination here. Let a little intention appear. Maybe explore the source of that intention, the desire that's in you to have whatever that is, or to give whatever that is, whatever it is. For the yogis, well, there's this direction of our intentions to the divine, the Great Spirit. And you come to know thee in all of your grandeur, beyond my limitations. We'll chant a couple of ohms and we'll get it going in our temporal practice, the Prithvi earth practice. Exhale the breath completely and then inhale here. again, another big inhale. Om. And allow the witness to re-emerge or take hold firmly. Put a little softness in your body, a little softness in your heart, in your mind. Some ease in there. Okay, namaste, friends. Let's move from our seated position to tabletop. So just come to all fours here. And you're ready. And we'll just warm up the body first by just a little bit of movement of the hips here, a little circular motion of the hips here. Letting the breath, inhale as the heart floats forward, exhale as the hips draw back. What I find when one contemplates Kshana and anew is that there's this inclination to understand it. And so when we're kind of tempting and switch directions, say, tempting to understand the smallest measurement of time or the smallest measurement of existence, it's as if our perceptive quality reduces itself, but not reduction as in smaller, becomes more refined and more piercing. So then the capacity of our being can merge with that quality. Let's come into a puppy pose here. Let the heart sink, hips stay lifted, forehead earth. And then gently inhale, round into the upper back. Big inhale as the hips release down, the gaze gently floats up. And then exhale, lift the hips back into a puppy pose. And just keep this rhythm going. And then one might ponder the idea that if we were to enter into the space beyond the infinitesimal amount of time, that we would move beyond time, and that we would likely move beyond space. And this is just perception. It doesn't mean that either of those two features become abolished. It's just that our capacity becomes more refined. Come to neutral position here, and then left hand under the face, so a twist. We do this. Float the right hand to the sky, spin the wrist, breathe very deeply. Stay with the breath, a big inhale, and exhale, floating this right hand through on the inside left shoulder and ear to the mat. Left hand reaches, top edge, hips drift to the right. Seal the twist, breathe deeply. So now as the body becomes more prominent in its sensation with asana. Again, pivot into this recognition of experience through witness perception, if you will. And a nice big inhale. And exhale, left hand back underneath you, ground it. And I'll float the right hand, reach in. And then ground this right hand, will switch. So float the left hand, the wrist spins. The breath is very, very deep here, very deep. Breathing, big inhale. And exhale, feeding. Now left hand through on the inside of the right shoulder and ear. Right hand reaches, hips to the left. Breathe deeply. Nice big inhale. And exhale, right hand back underneath you, ground it. And inhale, float the left hand back up. Yeah. Then we'll do our nice little side body stretch. So we do take the hands off the mat to the right side, hips stay lifted. Big inhale, exhale, arcing into the right or left side body as the forehead draws towards the earth. Breathe deeply. Ground left hand firmly, track the outside of that left hip back. And then gently inhale, flow back up to neutral. And we'll switch this out. So take the hands off the mat to the left side. Same thing, a big inhale, and exhale, rounding now right side body. The thing of it is to not get too, say, raveled up in experience, in sensation, say, or at least in this level, our asana practice. We look at sensation with the equal eye, if you will. And then gently, float up into a neutral position here. I'm going to spin around and face you, all face the camera, and then extend now the right leg out to the right, toes point forward here, and then gently let the hips draw back, and then bend the elbows, come onto the forearms here. So all the sensational experiences that become apparent, we just meet with kind of we just watch them. Yeah. Breathing deeply. Yeah. And then gently inhale, float up to neutral. Ground this left hand. And then inhale, take the right arm to the sky. Yeah. Big open stretch. And then some of you may want to try and bend the left knee and capture the foot or ankle with this right hand and just squeeze the heel towards the buttocks to open up the quad or the front of the hip. It's a lot. Just as a little experiment, Then nice big inhale. Exhale, we'll all meet back into neutral position here, but then sweep this right foot on the outside of the left knee for a figure four. You do this on occasion, it looks like so. Toes tuck under or the top of the foot if you wish, and then we'll just drift back, ground forearms here, and then we invite a stretch in that right hip. And we just breathe in here. Yep. And ground hands, float up to neutral. And then we'll switch this out. So extend now the left leg out. Toes point forward, hips drift back. Elbows bend. Come onto the forearms and breathe here, friends. Oh, yeah. Feeling into that. And then gently float up to neutral, ground right hand, float left arm. So another nice big twist, open up, breathe deeply. And then once again, some of you may want to bend now this right knee, capturing foot or ankle with that left hand, a little stretch of the quad, breathe in here. Yep. And then gently release all that. And then we'll sweep this little cramp there, sweep this left foot on the outside, that right knee. And then figure four again, and then just release gently. And so it's like in the quest of the event horizon between form and formlessness, the experience, if we can even use that word, abates into its most refined capacity. So stillness emerges, time stops. Our relationship with the perception of form ends. And then gently inhale, come up to neutral. So we're back into a tabletop position. Extend the right leg behind you just to open up the back of the leg, calf and Achilles, a little more dramatic. And then float that right leg hip height here. We'll just work this little bit. A big inhale. And exhale, knee to chest, give her a squeeze in. Mm-hmm. And then inhale, leg behind you. And then exhale, bend elbows and sink here. Yep. And then inhale, straighten arms. Exhale, bend knees, squeeze in. Mm-hmm. Inhale, leg behind you. Exhale, bend elbows, sink. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, knee to chest. And then gently release to neutral and we'll switch. So extend that left leg, toes tuck under, a little stretch to the bottom foot, calf and Achilles. And then float this left leg. And so begin to find yourself in the quest, if you will, for that kind of event horizon of time and space. Inhale, breath. Exhale, knee to chest, squeeze. And then inhale, leg behind you. Exhale, bend elbows, sink. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend, squeeze. Inhale. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, squeeze and release to neutral. And then we'll meet in downward facing dog here, Adho Mukha Svanasana when you're ready. Downward facing dog. Yeah. Take a moment just for all the feels here, right? Mm-hmm. But sustain, if you will, this container of the observation of Kshana and Anu. And even if, like, those values, say, are challenging to represent in the capacity of your perception or understanding, even whatever it may be, um, the the movement towards those qualities are of such high value. Yeah. Ooh. Breathe deeply, friends. And then gently walk the feet to the hands. So forward fold, we meet. Uttanasana, we know this as. Little space in between the feet. Weight presses into big toe mounds. Head a little stir, yes and no. You can grab opposite elbows here. Lengthening of the spine. And then half lift here, Ardha. Stay with your breathing. Lengthen tail to spine here. Inhale, breath. Exhale, lengthen out. Fold down, chin tucks, hands release here. And then again, inhale, Ardha. Exhale, flow down. And then a little bend knees, send the left leg back into a lunge here. And then we'll come up into crescent. So Vajrasana, just bring maybe the hands to the right near thigh. And then when you're ready, just float hands and arms, reach real tall. And then just travel in the experience of the present moment. awareness. The asana as a vehicle for the transportation of awareness. Big inhale and exhale, float the hands behind you here. Give the shoulders a little bit of a roll, and then lift the hands, squeeze the elbows, shoulder blades towards one another. Core stays active here. Stay with the breath. Yeah. And then inhale, float hands and arms over the head. Reach again. Exhale, float forward. Arms sweep behind you. We do one more of these. Inhale, float up. Exhale, sweep arms behind you. Pause here. Inhale, breath. And exhale, just gently float the hands down. High plank, we meet. So plant hands, step back, high plank. Breathe deeply. Oh, yeah. Let things slow down. And a nice big inhale. Exhale to the knees. Nicely done, friends, all the way to the belly here. Bhujangasana, just to warm up a little bit. Ground feet, pelvis, hands, and then inhale, float torso. Come on up, shoulders move away from the ears. And exhale, just gently float down. Let your movement and your breathing be synchronized and very supple. Try and create a softness in the experience and presence. And then one more here. Inhale. Exhale, down dog. Breathe deeply. What's most magical is within the expansion, within the Sakyavad, within the unfolding of the universe, in the evolution of both time and space, consciousness, awareness is always involved. It's always in the substratum of the experience, ever present, ever witnessing. A little bend in the knees, left foot steps, left hand here. Then inhale, float, torso and arms. Take a minute here. Back heel lifts. Feel that quad active. So that's the temporal experience of the yoga pose. Activation of the foundation of muscles, bones, and movement. And then your awareness of that is that the transportation of awareness. Reach the tips of the fingers and feel the tips of the fingers, and then feel the awareness. Nice big inhale. And exhale, float the hands behind you. Once again, give the shoulders a little bit of a roll, and then lift the hands, squeeze shoulder blades, elbows towards one another. Breathe here. Back leg is firm. Yeah. Then exhale, breath. Then inhale, float hands and arms, reach. And then exhale, float them behind you again. Kind of squeeze. Then inhale, reach. Exhale, pause now here. Take an inhale breath. And exhale, back foot steps folding forward. Top of the mat, Uttanasana. Just pivot into witness. Oh, yay. And then Little bend in the knees, cat-itsy arms. Inhale, flat back to standing. Reach hands and arms over the head. Reach real tall. Put a little sway in the body here. Feeling into that. And then keep the core active. Pubic bones drawing back a bit. Feel those components of experience. The feet grounded, toes spread wide. And then reach the arms up and back. So standing back bend here. Breathe very deeply. Keep reaching through the tips of the fingers. Sustain the activation of the core, belly to spine. And then with an inhale, bend the elbows. Heart's lifting here. And then inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, float hands and arms behind you, interlace fingers. Inhale, extend front spine, grow tall. And exhale, bend knees generously, hinge at the hips, hands and arms float up and over the head. Be really mindful here. A little sensitive for low back. Breathe. Nice big inhale. Exhale, gently release the grip of the hands. And then a little bend the knees, send now the right leg back into the lunge. Pause. And then inhale, float upper body and arms. So we reach again. So feel the back heel lift and the quad active of the back leg. And then, so then there's our experience of the temporal. And then just allow your awareness of that to be aware. Yeah. Big inhale. And exhale, left hand, left waist. A twist here. Inhale, reach the right hand forward. And then twist to the left. So fist with this right hand, elbow sinks. Left hand covers right. Track the left shoulder away from the left ear. Heart opens here. Breathe deeply. Then you can take this deeper if you wish. The right hand to the earth. And then the left hand to the sky. Stay with the breath. Keep the back leg quad firm. Inhale, breath. And then exhale, the hand and arm over the head. And just reach here. And again. So now the body has multiple contacts of experience. But within all of that is just the silent witness. Breathe. Big inhale. And exhale, gently release here. Hands plant. High plank we meet. Step on back. Oh yeah. Stay with your breath. Take a moment here. Inhale your breathing. And exhale, release to the knees, belly, chest. Salambhasan. We know this is locust pose. So draw the hands down by the sides, the palms face down. Stay with the breath. And then exhale your breathing completely. And first, just inhale and float the torso up. You can even bend the elbow some. Just use the muscles of the back. Stay with the breath. A nice big inhale. And exhale, float down. Take the gaze to the right. A moment here for breath. And exhale, you're breathing completely. And then inhale, float the torso and the legs. Come on up. Stay with the breath. Breathe deeply. Just squeeze the back of the body. Squeeze the shoulder blades onto the back. Breathe here. Nice big inhale. And exhale, gently release down. Look to the left. Pause here. Breathe. And then draw gaze to neutral again. Exhale the breath completely. And once again, inhale, float torso and float legs. Come on up. Breathe here. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the back of the body. And then draw the hands behind you And interlace the fingers and lift a little higher. Stay with the breath. A nice big inhale. And exhale, gently release down. Hands plant under the armpits. Inhale, flow back up into tabletop. Pause here. Then gently release. Back into child's pose, extended here. Breathe. Oh, yeah. And then gently, inhale, come on up. And we'll meet back into downward facing dog. Down dog. Awareness. Prominent feature of experience. Little bend in the knees, right foot steps. Inhale, float torso. Come on up, back heel lifts, quad active, back leg, little squeeze in the inner thighs. You know that. And inhale, reach, hands and arms. Oh, yeah. Vehicle of awareness. Yep. Big inhale. Exhale now, right hand, right waist. Inhale, left hand forward. Twisting to the right. So left elbow on the outside of the near thigh. Sinking armpit to knee. Right hand covers the left. Right shoulder away from right ear. Reaffirm back leg quad. And then open arms. So left hand earth. Right hand stars. Gaze up. Breathing. And then a big inhale. Exhale, right hand over the head. And again, there's multiple points of like contact of sensation, and just sustain the sense of witness. And a nice big inhale. Exhale, hand down, look down. Back foot steps top of the mat. Forward fold Uttanasana again here. Breathe deeply. A little bend knees. Inhale, flat back to standing. So elbows lift. Reach all the way to the stars. And then exhale, hands to prayer. Take an inhale here at the heart. And exhale, float the hands down by the sides. Take a moment. Close the eyes, little bend in the knees. Okay, so gently open the eyes here. Float the hands and arms over the head and just capture the left wrist with the right hand. Stand firm on the left leg. Then inhale, sweep open to the right and just pull this bottom arm straight. And again, reaffirm the stance of the left side. Breathe very deeply. Gaze can kind of open up. Breathe. Then inhale to neutral. Exhale, switch the grip of the hands. And then inhale, sweep over to the left. Stand firm on the right leg. Quad active, belly to the spine. Ooh, yay. And then gently inhale, float up to neutral. Exhale, the hands behind you again here. Interlace fingers. Inhale, extend front spine. And exhale, hinge at the hips, folding forward. The hands and arms go up and over the head. Deep bow forward here. A little bend the knees, that's helpful. Nice. And a nice big inhale. Exhale, release the hands and arms. Little bend in the knees, step back into high plank. So push up here, pause. Yep. And then inhale, float forward into upward facing dog. So pelvis release down, quads firm, core is toned. Chin is tucking slightly. So we're lengthening through the crown of the head, a little micro bend in the elbows so the joints are supple. Nice big inhale. And exhale, lift the hips back into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana here. Yep. And then Virabhadrasana, one warrior, one right side. So right foot steps, right hand, left heel, pivots down, come to standing. Take a moment here. Hips are squaring, of course, quad active. Back leg, reach hands and arms to the sky, really extend. Yep. And then nice big inhale. And exhale, float the hands behind you, interlace fingers. Inhale, extend front spine, grow tall. And exhale, bow torso on the inside, this right leg, hands and arms over the head. Breathe deeply here. Oh, yeah. And then exhale, breath. Then inhale, float hands and arms back over the head. So warrior one. Exhaling, hands to prayer. Release the back heel. So modified warrior three. Step the foot in. Work the weight into this front leg. And then straighten that front leg. Lift the back leg. Body down. Leg up. Breathe here. And then standing split. So hinge deeper in the hip here. Forehead towards the shin. Leg lifts. And then a careful bend in the stand leg knee. Release the back foot down. And it'll come back up into peace warrior. So hands to prayer at the heart. Take a moment. Reassert this awareness principle. Big inhale. Exhale, hands to waist. Inhale, straighten the front leg. And then exhale, pivot 180 degrees. So spin all the way around. Typically, you have to step this right leg out to continue to square the hips off. Honor the width of your stance with the width of your hips here. Quad active, back leg. Really feel the grounded nature of the back foot. And so here's awareness of experience. So just recognize that. And then just recognize the awareness part of that, right? And then inhale, take hands and arms to the sky. Reach. And a big inhale. Exhale, hands behind you, interlace fingers. Inhale, extend front spine, grow tall. Exhale, bow torso inside this left leg, hands and arms over the head. Stay with your breathing. Oh, yeah. And then exhale the breath completely. Then inhale, float all the way back into Virabhadrasana, one warrior one. Reach in. Then hands to prayer at the heart. Pause. Reassert the sense of awareness. Then release the back foot, heel points to the sky. Work the weight into this left leg, straighten this front leg, and lift the back leg. So body down, leg up. Warrior three, modify. Breathe in. A nice big inhale, exhale, hinge deeper in the form, standing split, leg lifts, forehead towards the shin. Just stay with the breath. And then careful bend in the stand leg knee. Release the back foot down. And then back into a peace warrior stance. So hands to prayer. At the heart. Inviting awareness. Inhale, breath. Exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Pivot 180 degrees again. Warrior two stance. A little longer. Bend deeply. Front leg knee. Hands and arms float. Shoulder height here. Stay with the breath. A little mobility. Let's turn the palms up and then inhale, straighten the front leg, reach. Hands and arms over the head. And exhale, bend, float. Shoulder height. And again, inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. And last time here, inhale, reach. Leave the left arm towards the left ear and then just come into extended sun angle. Like so. Breathe. Heart opens. Stay with the breath. Straighten this right arm, sink deeper. Breathe in. Exhale, breath. Reverse warrior. Inhale, straighten front leg. Just kind of cartwheel the arms, reach this right hand. Big inhale, exhale, hands and arms shoulder height, thumb sky. Trikonasana, triangle pose, big inhale. Next we'll just reach into it. When the hip stops moving, just stop and tip. Right hand earth, left hand stars. Shoulders move away from the ears here. Heart keeps opening to the sky. Breathe. Quad active back leg. So there's that transport of awareness. And then just watch the awareness piece of that. Yeah, and then bring this left hand to the sacrum. So Ardha Chandrasana, half moon, bend the front leg knee. Step the back foot in, plant the front hand in front of the front foot. Straighten the front leg and lift the back leg. Heart keeps opening. Some of you may want to capture the foot, the left foot, with the left hand, a little squeeze towards the buttocks, and then kicking the foot into the hand to open up into a back bend here. Breathe deeply. Stay with your breath. We're not quite done here. Release the foot if you have it. Revolve this, and so square the hips off. Release the left hand down, the hip square off, like stays lifted, and then float the right arm. And just breathe here. Stay with the breath. Nice big inhale, and exhale. Hand and arm down, forward fold here. Yeah, top of the mat. Breathe in. And then inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant the hands, step back into high plank, high push-up. Pause here. Inhale, upward facing dog. Hips gently release down. And then exhale, lift the hips back into downward facing dog. Yeah, down dog. Breathe deeply. And then the left foot steps to the left hand. Right heel pivots down, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Just bend front leg knee, quad active back leg, inner thigh squeeze. Core is active here, of course. And then arms float. There's that piece of transport of awareness, and then we pivot to awareness. Palms turn up here, straighten front leg reach. And exhale, bend, float. 2 more times on your own. And leave this right arm to the ear. So this angle, left forearm, left thigh. Just really reach, get something out of it to extend significantly through the fingertips of the right hand. And then straighten the left arm, sink deeper. And stay with the breath. And exhale, you're breathing completely. And reverse this. And so right hand, right leg, left arm over the head. Breathe. Nice big inhale. Exhale, hands and arms shoulder height there. Pause. Trikonasana, thumbs to the sky, triangle pose. Big inhale. Exhale, just pivot into it. When the hip stops moving, just stop and tip, reaching. Left hand earth, right hand stars. Shoulders move away from the ears. Heart keeps spinning open. Stay with the breath here. And then bring the right hand to the sacrum. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Look down, bend the front leg knee, step the back foot in, plant the front hand in front of the front foot, and then straighten that front leg. Lift the back leg. Heart keeps spinning open. Right arm reaches to the sky. And then again, some of you may want to bend that right knee, capturing foot or ankle. A little stretch of the quad, a little kick of the foot into the hand. Stay with the breath. And then gently release the foot if you have it. We'll revolve this. So hips square off. Right hand grounds, leg stays lifted. And then float the left arm. Just breathe here. Stay with the breath. And then a big inhale. And exhale, forward fold, arm releases, leg releases gently here. Take a moment. Nice. And then inhale, half lift. Pause for a little bit of knees. And then inhale, cactus, arms reach. Just standing, hands and arms over the head, reach real tall. And then bring the hands down by the sides here. A little bend in the knees. Just take a moment here, relax. And we'll come into Garudasana, eagle pose. So work the weight into the right foot. And then inhale, just gently float the left leg. Find your balance here. Leg ground, standing leg foot. So again, experience is awareness, and then focus on awareness for that. And then wrap the leg over, that left leg over the right. And then float arms, and then the left arm is under the right arm here, and just squeeze that together. Oh yeah, wonderful. And then bend standing leg knee here, sink lower, and then hinge at the hips, falling forward. And just breathe here, stay with the breath. Oh yeah. Ooh, and then gently begin to push the floor away, but we're not quite done. Unravel the hands, draw the hands and arms down, and float this left knee up. So we're back here. Now find your balance. And then Vrikshasana 3 pose. So draw the foot on the inner leg of this right leg here. And then hands to prayer. Breathe in. And then reach hands and arms to the sky. Stay with the breath. Focusing on awareness. And gently hands to prayer at the heart. We release the knee, the foot rather, and the knee floats down gently. A little bit of movement here. Let that release from the body. And then we'll switch this out. We'll actually close this a little bit. So work the weight now into this left leg. Maybe we do this all at once, where float arms and float right leg. Feeling that. And then the right leg over and the right arm under. And just wrapping. Squeeze everything together. Then bend standing leg knee here. And sink lower. And then fold, hinge here. And just breathe. Yeah, just squeeze everything. And again, we're not quite done, so begin to push the floor away. The hands release, they float down. That knee floats up. Find your balance here. Lengthen and Vrikshasana 3 pose. So foot to the inner thigh, this left leg, really kind of push foot in, and then straighten standing leg to find that connection. And the tailbone kind of lengthens down here, wrapping the knee open. And then when you're ready, hands and arms to the sky. Just breathe. And then gently hands to prayer. Release foot and leg. Knee stays lifted for a moment. And then float the leg down. And just a little bit of movement. And just a little flow here. Sweep hands and arms over the head. Exhale, swan dive, fold forward. Chin tucks, hands come down. Inhale, half lift, pause. Exhale, fold. Yep. And then back to standing. So inhale, flat back all the way up, reach. And exhale, hands to prayer. Do one more of these. Inhale the breath. Exhale, float hands down. Inhale, reach hands and arms to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, fold forward. Chin tucks. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, bend knees, plant hands, step back into downward facing dog. So we'll just meet in down dog here for a moment. Stay with the breath. And then pigeon pose on the right side. So flip the right leg up and draw the right knee to the right hand. Release that right foot wherever it say wants to. And then ground the back foot. So come onto the back of the back foot. We're just going to work this just a little bit. There's this energy of squeezing into the midline. So we kind of drag this left hip forward and the right hip back and draw into the middle. And if it's stable, you can release your hands and work this out yourself, of course. Reach the arms to the sky. Stay with the breath. Keep the core active and then cactus the arms. Here, just breathe and really squeeze into the middle so there's stability. Big inhale and exhale. Now the hands behind you and interlace the fingers. Pause here. Inhale, breath. And then exhale, gently release the hands down and then just scooch as one can, or place a block or blanket under the right hip, but scooch that left foot back to ground the right hip. Just breathe here. And then we'll come onto our forearms, but the elbows stack under the shoulders here and keep the torso, if you will, elevated. So don't kind of droop down. This is enough for the hip and the acetabulum. Keep them all happy. If you're feeling like you want to explore more sensation, you just isometrically draw the elbows towards you. But again, stay lifted in the torso here so we're not over pressuring the acetabulum. Give it a little relief. Great stretch though. Right hip. Begin to just slow everything down. Nicely done, friends. We'll move back into down dog. Three-legged dog if you like to unravel that right knee or that right hip a little bit. Wiggle it. Open it up. Give it a little shake. Yeah. And then we'll switch when you're ready. So flip the left leg. Left knee, left hand, foot just goes down wherever kind of thing. Come onto the back, or the top rather of the back leg. Squeeze midline here. Just give it a good tug in and then gently release the hands here. Kind of lean back, but the chin tucks. Float arms. So, really big on my back here. Feels wild. And then bend the elbows. So cactus the arms. Stay with the breath here. And then interlace the fingers. Breathe deeply, friends. And then gently release the grip of the hands. And then send now that right leg back to ground the left hip or block or blanket under the left hip. Pause here. Big inhale. Then exhale. Again, just come onto the forearms. Torso stays elongated. Yeah. Long lines of the body always being expressed here. And breathe peacefully. And then gently we'll make our way back up. And again, three-legged dog. Just work that out. A little shake of that leg, whatever. And downward facing dog here. Breathe in deeply. And then walk the hands back just one step, one little inch or whatever. and kind of ground the heels a little bit, sink the heart, and then kind of drape the triceps towards the earth as you ground the hands. So all those points of physical contact awareness transporting through the system. And so we're training the directed capacity of perception. It's such a crucial understanding when we try and take that perception inside into the subtle body. Yep. Because then we go through the event horizon with our perception into the domain of the full-on abstract, sublime reality. Yeah, child's pose is where we'll meet now. So release the knees, hips to the heels. Yeah. Take a moment here, relax. Yeah, so we first get used to allowing our awareness to be kind of directed through the apparatus of the physical body. And that's the training ground for the capacity to direct perception internally. Initially, obviously, just in the physical domain, you know. And then gently come up to tabletop. We'll meet on our backs here. So just come onto your back. A nice full body stretch. So send the arms long over the head. Point and flex the feet here. And then set to asana, so bridge pose. So bend the knees here, the feet are flat on the earth, in line with the hips. And then ground the upper arms into the mat. And then with an inhale, lift the hips and then kind of shimmy the shoulder blades closer to one another. Hips keep lifting, and then interlace the hands so we're fully externally rotating the upper arm bones. Kind of feel that kind of positioning of the upper arms. Hips keep lifting. Chin is lifting, so the natural curve of the cervical spine is sustained nicely here. Breathe deeply, keep lifting the hips. Belly to the spine. The knees are kind of drawing towards one another, so we activate the inner thighs that way, and that really kind of helps. I feel lift the hips even more into the form. Yep. And a nice big inhale. And exhale, gently release down here. Pause for a moment. Release the grip of the hands, hips down. We're just going to take a moment here. We're not done. So one more round of bridge or, right, Urdhva Dhanurasana, upper facing bow. You choose, right? I'll teach upper facing bow, talk us through it at least. Know your practice, know where you want to go. For the Urdhva Dhanurasanas, the hands go over the shoulders, the fingers point down towards the toes, and then the elbows kind of come towards one another. So the hands open, exhale the breath, and then inhale, come up into a bridge type pose, hips lift, and then exhale onto the crown of the head, pause, and then inhale all the way up into it. And just breathe here, stay with breath. Again, the knees are trying to kind of draw towards one another, core stays active. Breathe in deeply. In Urdhva Dhanurasanas, you can come down whenever it feels good for you. Same with the bridges. Come down when you're ready. Gently tucking the chin. And then we'll meet in Supta Baddha Konasana. So recline down angle, soles of the feet together, knees open here, palms. Turn up, either arms can be by your sides here. Slow your exhale down. So management to your breathing. And gently float the knees towards one another here. Hug them into the chest. Little rock side to side. And we'll massage the spine this way. And a supine twist. So ground the feet here. Hands and arms at a T or cactus position. Shift the hips to the right and the knees go to the left. Legs stack here 45 degrees or so. Just breathe. And then very gently here, let the knees flow back up to neutral. Shift the hips all the way now to the left. Switch this out. Knees go to the right, gaze to the left. And then gently float the knees back up. Give them a little squeeze here. Then Viparita Karani Mudra. So the hands ground, feet lift, hips lift. Kind of shimmy the shoulder blades underneath you. Hands to the low back. The body is in a V shape here. Eyes can close. Weights in the hands, elbows, upper arms, shoulders. Closing the eyes. Beginning to interpret the sensation of prana. So allowing prana to be a tool of awakening for perception. Of course, it's perception on the subtle plane. Begin to make the way out of it here. A little bend in knees, hands ground, hips float gently to the earth. Here, hug in knees last time. Ooh. And then our pre-Shavasana breath retention practice. Legs extend, feet roll open, palms turn upward, hands and arms by the side. Exhale. You're breathing completely, and then take a big inhale here. Hold the breath in, just wait on it. And gently release your breathing. And we'll do one more of those. We'll cue us to pooch at the belly though as we hold the breath. Exhale your breathing completely. And take a nice big inhale. Pooch at the belly. Gently exhale the breath here. Just gently take this into Shavasana. Allowing for yourself to become more comfortable if you like, adding clothing, this or anything. Get settled in here. Just to allow a sense of timelessness and a sense of space to be preeminent in your experience. Space and timelessness. awakening into a sense of awareness, a sense of presence here. Noticing the requisite sensation of stillness or peace. And just gently let your breath extend here. So a little bit of movement in the hands and feet. A little stretch at some point. We'll end up on our left side. If you're ready, we'll make our way to a seated position here. And just take a moment and establish the seated meditation posture. We'll have another 20 minutes or so of our practice for sadhana. Typically, some elevation under the pelvis is helpful here. So we'll utilize our pranayama practice here this morning as a vehicle that awakens perception. And in doing so, we'll be practicing the locks, the bandhas, as we know them to be. And many of you, I know you know these, and I've taught these before on the stream. If it's new for anyone, there's three locks that direct energy in a specific way, and they're purifying and expansive at the same time. The first lock that we'll practice, the first bandha, is called Mula Bandha, and we know this as the root lock. And I teach this in a kind of a specific way, more according to the Hatha Yoga, kind of more, traditional lineage. And that's where we're contracting what's called Ganesh Nadi, and it's a nadi that's inside the column of the colon, about 4 finger widths deep inside. And so the contraction actually of Mula Bandha is beginning with the anal sphincter muscle area, and then draw that contraction up inside the column of the colon. And so that's the practice on an inhale retention. So we'll do this together. Exhale your breathing completely, and then take a full yogic breath. So belly expands, ribs expand, big inhale. Hold the breath in, and then contract the anal sphincter muscle, and then draw that contraction up into the column of the colon. Just keep holding your breath. And then very gently release your breathing. Keep holding the contraction of Mula Bandha, Ganesh Nadi, the anal sphincter area. And then at the bottom of the breath, just relax the contraction here. Take a little catch breath. And then exhale your breathing. And again, another round, Mula Bandha, the root lock. So inhale, belly expands, rib chest. Contract the anal sphincter muscle area, draw it up into the column of the colon. very gently release the breath. At the very bottom, release the mula bandha, release the contraction. And again, take a little catch breath here. And last round here, third time, big inhale. Grab the bandha, hold the breath in. And very gently release your breathing. Release the bandha. Keep the eyes closed here and just feel the effects of the practice. Our next bandha is called Jalandhar bandha, and it means the throat. It's the throat lock. The translation is cloud holding water. It's done on an inhale retention, but when we get to the top of the breath, we lightly release the chin to the hollow throat, lift the sternum, and then turn the corners up on the mouth to close the glottis, to close the back of the throat. Breath is held in, and then we'll lift the chin and then exhale. So I'll cue that up. Release the breath completely, and then a full yogic breath on an inhale. So big inhale. Release the chin into the hollow throat, lift the sternum, turn the corners up in the mouth to close the glottis. Hold the breath here. And lift the chin and exhale. And just a little catch breath. And one more round, two more rounds actually, but begin another round. Belly expands, full yogic breath. Drop the chin into the hollow throat, lift the sternum. Lift the chin and exhale. Little catch breath here. And last round, take a full breath in. Release the chin down, sternum lifts, corner of the mouth turns up, glottis closes. And lift the chin and exhale. Go to the very, very bottom of your exhale here. Just feel the effects of the practice here. Then our last bandha is called Uddiyana Bandha. That means flying upward, and it's the navel lock. Navel lock. It's done on an exhale retention where we release all the breath out, turn the hands in, lean forward, and then draw the belly to the spine and then up under the rib cage as the breath is held out. It's a little more challenging if one isn't used to holding the breath out of the body, which we don't hardly ever practice unless we practice this type of a technique. So again, we'll do this together. Take first a full big inhale. And exhale, lean forward, turn the hands in. Whenever you do, get to the bottom of the breath and then draw the belly to the spine and then under the rib cage. Relax the belly. Inhale. And catch breath, exhale. And then again, another big inhale. Exhale out all the breath, lean forward, turn the hands in, hold the breath out, no cheating, belly to the spine, up under the rib cage. Relax the belly, inhale. And exhale. I realize timing of that one may be different for all of us, and that's fine. We'll do one more. Take an inhale here. Exhale the breath. Hold the breath out, lean forward, hands turn in. Inhaling when you're ready. Close the eyes, sit nice and tall here. Get a few belly breaths going. Some more cooling. You may notice that your temperatures, you may feel a little warmer. It's natural. Let the breath begin to gently subside here, become more subtle. You may feel light pulsations here or there. It's a sensation of the prana, of life force energy. Awakening of perception here. Let your awareness gently ascend and occupy the space just above your head, say within a few inches or so, foot. And gently allow as you inhale, the breath is shallow and light here, like a mist, even a vapor. Allow the tonation of Om to appear on both the inhale and the exhale, filling the space above Sahasra chakras, so above the crown of the head here. A sense of timelessness, even a sense of space. Where stillness and presence, peace are just ever constant companions of this fabric of awareness. The flow of Om. In the realm of the maturation of our awareness, of our perception, we include this capacity of developing spiritual quality and the mantra of Om is the nexus for this maturation, its vibration, and its revelation. We've encountered the pranava, the Ishvara, the Om as the divine. allow the concentration to just flow like a smooth stream of oil, unbroken, and begin to extract, if you will, the effort of concentration, the effort of your meditation, that all of its qualities become light and sublime. Stillness within stillness. So take notice here of the stillness, the emptiness, possibly in its nishkala, it's without any attributes, without time, without space, beyond Kshana, beyond Anu, beyond the smallest measurement of time, the smallest measurement of existence, the moment and the atom. Asana is a vehicle to transport awareness. Pranayam is a mechanism to awaken in perception. And finally, meditation to experience the universe. Just gently bring hands to prayer here, friends. We'll chant one Om together to complete our sadhana practice this morning. Just then gently exhale the breath and then inhaling here. The yoga of Kshana and anew. Namaste, friends. Ooh. All right. So thank you very much for joining here this morning, of course, and as always, hi Lori, good morning, and yeah, thank you for allowing me to share this. What I feel is just a really remarkable understanding of our physical and in our spiritual world, and ways to make sense of both of these qualities in us. You're very welcome, Sarah. Thank you. And continue to keep doing the yoga sadhana. Saturday mornings, yoga sadhana. I know, going and going. I agree, Gretchen. I know. Yeah. Thank you, Bill. Yeah, Stephanie, thank you. You're very welcome. Vehicle of awareness. Yeah. It's really powerful mechanism of understanding. Yeah, I'm still, and that's the thing. Like, after we get done meditating, it's kind of not done. Things are still happening, and so allow that to sustain itself. And how this ends, though. Always be love and peace, friends. Love, peace. Thank you for attending. Om Shanti Om.